Hey there, champions of financial freedom. Today, we're tackling something that could completely transform retirement for millions of Americans. It's not every day that we see such a bold move in the world of Social Security, but what just happened might change everything we thought we knew about retirement benefits in America. Let me paint you a picture of where we are right now. Inflation has been hitting retirees hard, with everyday expenses skyrocketing while fixed incomes struggle to keep up. Many of you have been writing to me, sharing your stories about choosing between medication and groceries. It's heartbreaking, and it's exactly why this latest development is so significant. So, what exactly did Trump announce? During a packed rally in Iowa, he unveiled what he's calling the American Seniors Security Initiative, a comprehensive plan that promises not just to protect Social Security, but to substantially increase benefits, even as Washington faces a potential shutdown. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just another political promise. The plan includes specific mechanisms for funding these increases, and some of the details are honestly pretty surprising. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, how can anyone make changes to Social Security when they're not even in office? That's a fantastic question, and the answer reveals a lot about how political influence works in Washington. While Trump isn't currently in power, his sway over the Republican Party remains substantial, and several key legislators have already voiced support for these proposals. Let's dive into the meat of this announcement. At its core, the plan proposes a complete restructuring of how Social Security benefits are calculated and funded. The first major change involves what Trump calls real cost adjustments, a new way of calculating cost of living increases that would take into account expenses that seniors actually face, like healthcare and housing, rather than the current one-size-fits-all approach. But here's where things get really interesting. The plan includes what's being called a prosperity bonus system. Imagine getting additional increases in your Social Security checks when the economy performs well. It's like profit sharing, but for Social Security recipients. This innovative approach would tie benefit increases to specific economic indicators, potentially leading to larger checks during periods of strong economic growth. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: funding. How exactly would these increases be paid for? The plan lays out several funding mechanisms, including what Trump calls smart trade negotiations that he claims would bring billions back to American shores. There's also a proposed restructuring of various government programs to eliminate waste and redirect funds to Social Security. Here's something that might surprise you. The plan includes provisions for what's being called generational equity adjustments. This means different age groups would see different types of benefits. Current retirees would get immediate increases, while younger workers would see enhanced future benefits along with new options for retirement planning. But let's get practical for a moment. What kind of numbers are we talking about? While the exact figures would vary based on individual circumstances, early projections suggest that some recipients could see monthly increases ranging from 100 to 400 or more. And here's the kicker: these increases would be on top of regular cost of living adjustments. Now, you might be wondering about the timing of all this. With a potential government shutdown looming, many are concerned about their benefits. Here's something crucial you need to understand. Social Security payments are considered mandatory spending, which means they continue even during a shutdown. Trump's team is actually using this fact strategically, arguing that now is the perfect time to implement these changes while other government functions are under review. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in these discussions: the impact on local economies. When seniors have more money to spend, it creates a ripple effect throughout their communities. Small businesses benefit, local tax revenues increase, and the overall economic health of retirement communities improves. This multiplier effect is one of the strongest arguments in favor of the proposed increases. But here's where the plan gets really innovative. It includes provisions for what's being called healthcare cost offsetting. Recognizing that medical expenses are often the biggest burden for seniors, the proposal includes specific increases targeted at beneficiaries with high healthcare costs. This could be a game changer for millions of Americans struggling with medical bills. Now, let's address some of the criticisms and concerns that have been raised. Some economists argue that the funding mechanisms might not be sustainable long-term. Others question whether such significant changes could actually make it through Congress. These are valid concerns, but the proposal includes several fallback options and alternative funding sources. Here's something interesting that hasn't gotten much attention. The plan includes measures to modernize the entire Social Security Administration system. We're talking about upgraded technology, streamlined processes, and better fraud prevention. These improvements could save billions in administrative costs, money that could be redirected to benefit increases. Let's dive into the implementation timeline. The proposal outlines a phased approach, with some changes taking effect almost immediately, while others would be gradually implemented over several years. This measured approach is designed to minimize disruption while maximizing the positive impact for beneficiaries. But here's what makes this plan particularly unique. It includes what's being called a financial security guarantee. This provision would make it much harder for future administrations or Congress to reverse these increases once they're in place. Think of it as a lock-in mechanism for your benefits. Now, let's talk about something that's particularly relevant in today's economic climate: inflation protection. The plan includes enhanced safeguards against inflation, with automatic triggers for additional increases during periods of high inflation. This could provide crucial protection for seniors when prices are rising rapidly. Here's another fascinating aspect. The proposal includes special provisions for what's called catch-up benefits. This would provide extra increases to those who had lower lifetime earnings due to caregiving responsibilities or other circumstances. It's an attempt to address some of the long-standing inequities in the Social Security system. But let's get real for a moment. What are the chances of this actually happening? While any major changes to Social Security face significant political hurdles, several factors make this proposal different. First, it focuses on increases rather than cuts, which tends to generate broader support. Second, it includes funding mechanisms that appeal to both fiscal conservatives and progressive lawmakers. Here's something that might surprise you. The plan has already gained support from some unexpected quarters. Several Democratic legislators have expressed interest in certain aspects of the proposal, particularly those dealing with healthcare cost adjustments and caregiver benefits. This bipartisan interest could be crucial for getting the changes implemented. Let's talk about the impact on different groups of beneficiaries. The plan includes specific provisions for disabled workers, surviving spouses, and adult children with disabilities. These groups often get overlooked in discussions about Social Security, but they could see significant improvements under the proposed changes. Now, here's something that's particularly relevant for those of you still working. The plan includes new options for early retirement. While maintaining the current retirement age structure, it would provide more flexibility in how and when people can claim benefits, potentially making it easier to transition into retirement gradually. But let's address one of the biggest concerns people have raised. What about the Social Security Trust Fund? The proposal includes what Trump calls trust fund stabilization measures. These would supposedly extend the life of the trust fund while providing these increased benefits. The details are complex, but they involve a combination of economic growth initiatives and funding reallocations. Here's another interesting aspect. The plan includes provisions for what's being called regional cost adjustment. This would take into account the fact that living costs vary significantly across the country, potentially leading to larger increases for those living in high-cost areas. Let's talk about the immediate impact. While some aspects of the plan would take time to implement, others could take effect relatively quickly. The proposal includes provisions for what's being called emergency increases that could be implemented even before the larger changes are fully in place. Now, Here's something that hasn't gotten much attention. The plan includes measures to improve Social Security's customer service. This might seem minor compared to benefit increases, but anyone who's ever had to deal with Social Security administration knows how important this could be. But let's be realistic about the challenges ahead. Implementing these changes would require significant political cooperation and administrative effort. However, the proposal includes several fallback options and alternative implementation paths, suggesting a level of flexibility that could help it succeed where other reform attempts have failed. So, what do you think about these potential changes? Could they really transform Social Security as we know it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on retirement and Social Security news. Share this video with friends and family who might be affected by these changes. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your financial future. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into what could be the biggest Social Security shakeup in generations. Remember, staying informed is your best defense against uncertainty, so keep watching for more updates. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep fighting for your financial freedom. And hey, if you found value in this video, help spread the word by sharing it with others who might benefit from this information. Together, we can build a more secure retirement future for everyone. See you in the next video.